Hey, here's us wishing you a Merry Crashmas! Greetings Rummy, you're watching Rum, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing and a regular news roundup, our weekly sim racing news. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. Today's video is dedicated to you, all our faithful viewers and subscribers, and of course, especially to our patrons. Your support, your kind words, corrections and comments always push us further and makes it fun to review the next thing, drive to the next expo, spend days and nights writing the scripts and editing the videos. You make it all worth it. We're nearing the end of the year, at least the way we count them, and while some of you will spend a relaxing time, we at Rum will be preparing the Sim Formula Europe for January and even doing some preliminary planning for the Sim Expo in Austin. By the way, your support would be much appreciated to get at least one of us to Austin. Just saying. And also testing products and giving you our most honest opinions. But again, that's in the future. Our present, our Christmas present even, is the news. iRacing delivered Season 1 of 2025 at the beginning of December 2024 because marketing? It's funny though that we got 3 drops on December 10th, Race Rooms Pack, LMU's latest DLC and iRacing. We'll tell you what it and the hotfix a couple of days later brought. While the newest season is not due to start until Tuesday, iRacing already delivered 5 cars: Acura NSX, GT3 Evo 22, BMW M2 CSR, Ferrari 499P, Supercars Chevrolet Camaro Gen 3 and Supercars Ford Mustang Gen 3. Of these, only the BMW will be available without having to pay on top of your subscription. This BMW can now also be chosen as space or safety car. It also brings 2 new tracks, Huset Speedway and Thruxton, together with a complete refurbishing of New Hampshire. Speaking of tracks, the track debris system was expanded to have more types of debris landing on track, specifically gravel and mud. And if you felt dirt ovals were too bumpy, the iRacing devs considered that an issue and have resolved it in this update. The logic of the spotter also got an update, as your spotter will now tell you if any of the damage you just got is going to impact your performance. There will be no yellows anymore now in the last lap of a race, what in the US is considered white flag conditions. Formula V got rain tires and everything that has to do with rain. And the AI now can drive 5 more cars all by itself. Moving on to something that has more to do with the UI, you will now find a recaps tab where you can see what your performance was in the past season and the past year. You can see those recaps also in the companion app. And any Microsoft Windows systems older than Windows 10 is not supported anymore, at least not officially. As often, I'd like to give props to whoever writes the notes for their touch of humor. Makes easier reading and brings a chuckle or two to our team. Remember our Sim Racing Expo video with 3D Wrap where, among other products, we checked out the prototype of the Feeling Pro with rumbles and 2 fans? Well, 3D Wrap have now released that one to market, which you will also see a review of in our channel sometime soon. We're helping them beta test it on some pedals, so it may take a couple of weeks. Those who bought the previous 3D Wrap Feeling upgrade get 50% off their newer electronics if they can deliver a proof of purchase. They're also having an end of year sales for all products in their Ignition series, including the Vota wheels and the Ngaza pedals. Added to that, they are expanding their already plentiful offer of aftermarket products for the Camus ecosystem by offering rumble motors specifically for the Camus LC100 pedals. Also, they've opened up an outlet section of their website with demo products and products with cosmetic defects reduced by 85 to 95%. Kunos are going to convert Assetto Corsa Evo from a racing simulator to a driving simulator in the summer of next year, as they plan to release the open world map about the Nürburgring, what is called the Eiffel region. And no, it has nothing whatsoever to do with the tower in Paris, France. This will for sure interest all those of you for whom Assetto Corsa is less of a racing sim and more a driving sim, cruising around the world and all that, of which we know they are a lot. Though I don't think that map will be good for no hazy driving unless they also simulate the Autobahn. If they make it season accurate, then no hazy will be more no driving, as the highways in Germany are clogged with traffic at the beginning and the end of summer holidays. It's also part of a new revenue stream for Kunos, as they are offering companies to open up shops in the open world, shops you will be able to interact with. GTA Eiffel, anyone? Not sure how I feel about that. The plan is to start small and then expand the map to about 1,600 square meters of it, all seemingly laser scanned. While I personally don't care much about these kind of open world maps, we know many of you do, and we're sure Kunos has set up this feature in their sim after seeing how well received the many open world cruising and no hazy mods for Assetto Corsa were. We'll see in the summer of next year how well this idea is received. We're getting a little bit more details about the Sim Expo in Austin, co-organized by the same company that organizes the Sim Racing Expo in Dortmund. It will take place at the SXSW between March 13 and March 15th, 2025, and will include more than just sim racing. The press release mentions agriculture, aviation, trucking and space exploration. We're talking about simulation is surely a stretch, but okay. Other than a lot of marketing BS, there's no more details about who will be there, what it will cost or anything else at the moment, which with 3 months to go seems strange. It's also strange that while the SXSW starts on the 7th, the Sim Expo won't start until the 13th. Project Motor Racing, Ian Bell's newest foray into sim racing, just announced they will include the Saleen SR7 in the sim, while also publishing images of it as work in progress. Not much else was published other than technical data and history of the real-life car. Sure looks pretty though. Tiny little patch for Race Room, fixing an issue with VR and correcting some issues with Monza, and of course the newest pack. See the link up there for a review. Le Mans Ultimate also got a tiny update fixing crashes that happened when using AMD hardware, as well as fixing an error that did not let you get into your profile. And in a second mini update they fixed co-op handovers. You know the FIA, right? The guy is messing up F1 and who almost completely destroyed WRC. They sadly have set their eyes on sim racing, or how the management cool kids say nowadays, esports. They want to create an esports code which, if F1 is anything to go by, will prohibit swearing on stream and wearing jewelry, but otherwise probably will make sim racing as boring as Formula 1. On the other hand, based on the sheer momentum and the enormous pile of money the FIA handles, it could very well be that they can pull this off. Euro Truck Simulator 2 has added the Iveco S-Way, which seems to be the Iveco flagship and has all thingamabobs a modern truck has, including camera-fed mirrors. So they are not really mirrors, but you know what we mean. This is the first Iveco in ETS2 since 2013. Some end-of-year sales follow the Black Friday. Assetto will now activate free shipping if your order is over 140 euro. The La Prima bundle will now be 1,100 euro instead of 1,300 euro. Both prices excluding VAT. The 40 wheelbase and 40 wheels are reduced by 15%, while the La Prima wheels are reduced by 10%. We remind you that if you use the code ROMROM for your order, you'll get another 5% off and will get a bit of money for that. Come Camus has also a couple of interesting price reductions, like the desk clamp down to 25 USD or the 15 Nm DD down to 450 USD. And their e-pedal wheel is down to 230 USD on pre-order. Again, using the code RUMRUM on order will drop the price for you by 5% and drop us also some money. If you like what you see, how about supporting us? A like, a subscribe, or even becoming a patron. Patrons get access to exclusive content and are involved in our decisions. Help us grow with your support. Winter is coming, and with it a new update for Beam.NG, which goes vintage with the Brockle 9, which emulates a car from the time when cars still had personality and were not the oversized monstrosities undistinguishable from each other we have to choose from nowadays. Now that I've stopped yelling at clouds, I can tell you this new car brings 9 different body styles with extensive customizations possibilities. Come to think of it, you should be able to emulate the first NASCAR races with these cars. Because you can drive the car as a classic 1930s car or customize it as if it's a retrofitted classic car with a motor of the modern times or whatever. Lots of possibilities here. With the advent of the Brockle 9, Beam.NG brings also new functionality for lights, as in a new future you will be able to put halogen lights on the cars. For now though, this only works for the 9. Another car updated is the Gabriel Grand Marshal, which now gets a new wide body kit and new aftermarket parts for the drag configuration. All across the board, you can make the vehicles in Beam.NG police cars, including halogen flashers, emergency beacon lights and whatnot. A lot of other cars also got updates and fixes. With regards to maps, West Coast USA also got updates, including a new gravel off-road course at the Belasco Motorsports Park, and the map will now use less memory on your computer, which is always welcome. Also, it got 7 free roam drift zones. Seems drift drivers are getting all the love at the moment. Race Room, Beam.NG, enjoy! Mod makers will also feel the love of the devs, as now you'll get a biome tool which allows you to fill a segment of the map automatically with whatever biome you wish, making it easier to fill your map with the desired surroundings. Also, the livery editor got the interface tweaked and improved. The challenge screens have been updated. Challenges now start when you move, not at the end of a countdown, and there's 3 new challenges to choose from. As the devs are getting us accustomed to, we can now enjoy the preview of a new mode, the rally mode. This is just a preview and a way to assess how you like it and to offer feedback to the devs, and it even has visual pace notes. No audio pace notes yet. Another preview is moving forward in great strides, as the career mode got 1.5 tons of changes and improvements. See the link in our description for the complete detailed release notes. And the force feedback also got a lot of attention to make it smoother and more robust all in one. Another one that got attention was the experimental Linux support. Oh, and be aware that this update got a hotfix a couple of days later, so you may want to check that you are on the newest version of Beam.NG.